Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, Aries, hang on. Let me change decks from what I was going to do. I don't know. I just want an oracle card first. I don't know why. Rise up. This is beautiful. So, I wanted to take a look at kind of like what's the new energy. Obviously, we got the sunrise backdrop, and that's a great card to have as a starter point, right? If our character is rising up, if there's something shifting, improving in their life, if they're standing up for themselves a little bit better than they have in the past. This could be an Aries who's like really stepping into their own power right now. This could be an Aries who's about to like stand their ground on something and be like, yeah, actually, that's not going to work for me. We got a Queen of Cups. I think that this is Aries stepping into their very incredible personal and unique power. We have a mermaid here with glorious hair, I might add. Um, it almost feels like the energy of emotion and love is Aries' greatest power, but stepping into that Queen of Cups energy is incredible. We have a Queen of Pentacles as well. Okay, so we have strong divine feminine energy. I do not feel like Aries has to stand up like against other feminines. I feel like this is either Aries rising to a position of like equal queen status. Like maybe there have been, a group of queens or something, and Aries has been connected to those queens in their own, queenly energy. And it's like, let me rise and become one of the queens myself. That's how this feels. You got a Prince of Wands. Okay. There is a creative spark. There is this exciting opportunity. This could be that Aries has a chance to like work with the dream team. They have a chance to get on the A team or, whatever, varsity team, whatever this is. There is a creative prospect. Wow. I want to say that like Aries is about to be one of the Charlie's Angels or something. This just comes across like we've got this incredible divine masculine or boss up energy, and Aries is like one of the elites. If this is about a career path, this could be like a boss of a company. This could be a masculine or a feminine who runs a company who is like calling out, asking for like the best of the best to step forward. Aries is among the best of the best. It is time for Aries to like raise their hand and say, yes, I'll be among those that, will take on this new creative project. This is Aries chance to get in on the ground floor, and they've got the talent, they got the chops for it. Now, I could read this in one different way, and we could say it is time for Aries to really see themselves as the amazing, beautiful, accomplished, giving, balanced, loving individual that they are, and that they are very much ready to not just have like a romantic partner, but to have the kind of romantic partner that respects them, protects them, wants to be a part of their life. The days of knights are over, the days of emperors have begun. I could look at this as love, and all of this is Aries energy shift. Either way, Aries is rising up to this to this position of knowing that they deserve to play with the big dogs. With that Three of Pentacles in particular, this is about wonderful collaboration with characters that are going to be, okay, some people are going to be super jealous, or even push back or be hostile. They may be upset if they aren't chosen for this next chapter, or this, let's say it's in business, let's say it's in the workplace. If Aries is stepping up to a position of greater authority, that might not go down well with some people who will be mad how come Aries gets to step up to the next level. They might even want to act like Aries is putting on airs, like, wow, who do you think you are, going to go become a manager, become a supervisor, blah blah blah. There could be some of that weird tension. Or if this is about romance, there could be people jealous, like, how is it that Aries is catching the eye of this emperor? How is it this emperor wants to catch the eye of Aries? There is without, God, I want to be careful how I say this, because it is not like these other people that are jealous or upset or frustrated or throwing shade are somehow less worthy to have queen status, emperor status in their life. But let me put it this way: if you're going to be walking around razzing everybody, being jealous, paying attention to business that isn't yours, throwing opinions out there that are just plain mean spirited, then I do think that these characters haven't managed their own like life expectations. And if they're feeling like they're falling short and they're mad the Aries is rising, to me that would just say, well, you need to go work on your own like individual progress. Then the reason Aries can progress, the reason Aries is connecting to, emperors, queens, all of that, is because Aries did the work. Now technically this is Aries, right, with that emperor. So it could even be that Aries themselves is about to be incredibly sought after by a bunch of queens. Now, I read it the reverse. I read it as Aries stepping into this incredible queen energy. And Aries is like, we're shifting their expectations of partnership or shifting their expectations in career path. And Aries is winding up in the upper echelon now. If anything I see here keeps saying Aries is rising and not everyone will like it. But that's kind of their problem. Wow. I hope that this doesn't get Aries down at all, because if Aries is starting to catch flack from, this is my meathead card. There's a bunch of people that are jealous for no good reason. But if Aries is starting to catch some flack from people that are jealous, they might even say, oh, you're so arrogant, Aries. Look at you putting on airs. Look at you, nose in the air. I hope that doesn't bring Aries down at all, because all of this is like their projection of how come you're better than us. And that is not the case. It simply is that Aries is, step by step elevating their own life because they want to, not because they're trying to outshine anybody or make anybody else feel insecure. Their insecurities, that's their problem. And this could be an old group of friends who don't seem much like friends anymore. They could seem like jealous just because of who Aries is starting to date or where Aries' life is going in the context of, career path. This could be a group of people that Aries used to think were friends, and now it's like, wow, why are they throwing so much shade at me and acting like I'm full of myself? I've been working really hard. Like, I would just say this: real friends are going to support you, cheer you on, be super proud to see you and your accomplishments. Real friends are going to be out in the crowd going, that's my friend, that's my Aries, like I knew they could do this. Instead, I don't get that. I feel like there's a group of like kind of sour energy around Aries, which is unfortunate. But we do have the card of oneness. I don't think it's going to rattle Aries at all, even though I'm like, wow, that's not very nice. But Aries maybe has known all along that they were going to make some real progress in their life. 5 of Wands, and Aries has always known that the wolf pack they run with possibly has challenged them a lot. In fact, Aries might even say, I'm not bothered by the fact that, I have frenemies or colleagues or something that are going to kind of like trash talk me a little bit, because honestly, they propel me forward. I'm going to show that I've earned my place. Even if they're saying I'm just, somehow I'm getting lucky and I got my nose in the air. You know what? They drive me to make sure that I earn my spot. And I do. It feels more like Aries has this remarkable maturity to them, where everything that they are achieving, the path of life that they're taking, everything is exactly what they're meant to have, and they know it. We've got this Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. I think the other way I could interpret this is that group that Aries was around, and it could have been like family group, they could be jealous and trying, or had been trying, to keep Aries from succeeding where they haven't done as well. Even to the point of, there could be a mother figure or something that doesn't really like seeing Aries end up with somebody who's nuts about them and loves them like crazy and treats them with tremendous respect. And, that could even be something that's like, how come Aries gets to succeed in like romance or career where I didn't? It could be that group, Aries has always known, they don't really want me to grow that much, but that's why I have to keep pushing. They are my greatest motivators, even if they are also the people that are holding me back the most. I'm sorry, I've had some real delicate stories to tell tonight. We keep getting real, the minute details of where like tensions are or where obstacles are. It seems like I think Gemini had a really tough one, Virgo had a really tough one. Um, but it's like all of our lead characters are managing difficult life situations with tremendous grace, and that's exactly how I feel Aries is doing this. Ace of Swords, the Sun, and then that Action of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords. I think Aries is like, they're going to see, I'm not ever going to forget where I came from or leave my friends behind or stop being friends with my friends, my colleagues, the people that that I love dearly. They'll see over time. But for right now, I'm going to not hold myself back from any kind of successes that I want. I'm going after the top of the mountain. I want to excel. I either want my career path to really excel. I want my romance to really excel. I'm going for the best of the best for myself. But at no time do I think I'm better than the friends, the friend, the family, the workers I worked with. It's not that I'm better than anybody, but I am very driven to get to what I want. And they will see I'm doing this for me, not for any reason other than this makes me happy. So I'm going to go after what I'm happy about. I love that for Aries because it doesn't become one of those things where they're going to be upset or they're not even going to let any of it bother them, to be honest. This is just Aries saying, I got to do what I got to do. They'll get over it. They'll see I'm the same old me, but I am going after what I want. We got the King of Wands sideways. I even think Aries might inspire somebody else from that group of naysayers to maybe push themselves to rise a little also. It may take a little while, but I really think that Aries is a huge inspiration, even as people are like kind of like almost like casting shade on Aries for their successes. Tell me about Aries' successes. What is this that they're going after? I mean, we can see that it's all that energy is great, right? It's queens, it's emperors, Four of Cups, things that Aries wishes that they had done maybe years ago, like 4 years ago. I should have already been on this path. Six of Cups in the reverse. This is like Aries should have abandoned ship of something a long time ago, should have maybe cut themselves free of some previous connection a long time ago. At this point, yeah, the World. I almost think Aries should have moved a while ago or left a job and started a new job a long time ago, whatever this was, or left one department to transfer into another. They might have stayed because they were, in like a bit of a, I don't dare move up out of this station in life or I'll be criticized for it. Maybe they stayed for the wrong reason in like a plateau of life that they'd already well outgrown. Because all of this says where Aries is going now is to say, man, I should have done this a long time ago. I was done with the old chapter of my life a long time ago. I've been growing. I've been grown. I've been ready for my next chapter. But right now, I'm finally just totally embracing it. I do feel like Aries might have been ending a previous relationship with someone, and now they are ready for a new beginning, possibly with a blonde-haired individual or somebody with a beard. This could be somebody who's a big sports fan. They might literally, I'm getting like a strong Irish vibe also, like they love St. Patrick's Day. They dye their hair green on St. Patty's Day. This is what I'm going to say is that Aries knew that they should have done this a long time ago, but they waited and waited. And I'm going to say it's okay because this path and this person, this romance, this career, all of it, I feel like it's more of a romantic partner at this point. They were willing to wait for Aries also. Now they could be a Pisces, they could be a Capricorn. I feel like they knew Aries wasn't ready to like formally let go of some previous romance or connection. I got to say this. If Aries is more or less breaking off a connection with somebody from their past and they're single and now they can start a new relationship with somebody else, that could be their ex's whole family that's super judgmental. Even Aries' own family, it's judgmental. Oh, so you're dumping so-and-so because you're just too good for the likes of us. You don't want to be with, whatever, our family anymore. You want to go after somebody with lots more money. I don't feel like it's any of that. I just feel like Aries has outgrown wherever they were at, because I think this group of people, they don't want to grow. But Aries has grown a tremendous amount, and I think that they stayed for far too long where they were already knew that they were done. And that's okay though, because whomever this, I'm going to say, new romantic partner is, I think they understand perfectly well. Yeah, they've been there too. I'm going to say that that lover, Aries, could be connecting to another Aries, or in this case, to a Gemini. But I feel like this person has done a similar thing in their life, so they completely understand, because the hand of the divine has introduced or brought Aries and this Emperor person together. They have been patiently waiting for Aries to be done with a previous connection so that they could start flirting and then start making serious moves toward Aries. I feel like maybe Aries had only flirted with this person in the past, and now it's like go time. I'm single now. I can move toward this Emperor wholeheartedly. I can reveal my heart. I can say that I want this. I'm single. I am elevating and I am rising up for what I want, and it's this Emperor. And I feel like this Emperor has been patiently waiting for Aries to be done with a previous connection and comfortable moving toward what they really want. I feel like there was no other way for this to play out other than, Aries had to be ready to do this when they were ready to do this. And I feel like an Emperor understands that, especially this Emperor, because I feel like they've been through something very similar. I feel like this Emperor has patiently waited for Aries so that Aries could deal with the flack that they would get from this change they were making, so that Aries could deal with, just all of the, anytime you make a change in life, especially change where you choose your own path, the path that you're supposed to be on, even though nobody else sees it, and they don't like change. They don't like that you're making a change. I think that's really tough. But this Aries, to their credit, had said, I got to do this. This is about my life. It's about my future. So I'm going to leave that one there. That was actually really powerful. And I feel like Aries has a new chapter with an Emperor that I think is going to be, I think it's going to be spectacular, honestly. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Take care. Bye.